Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? So this is content that is getting shown based on a custom location that's working on the spectacles, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So there's two steps to this process. One of them is in Snapchat, and that's what we're going to do first, and then the second one is in Lens Studio. So there's a link in the description to a specific lens that you're going to use. You're going to open that lens, and here's how to use it. All right, here I am in Snapchat, and I'm looking at the location. I want to make my custom location. These chairs. I want to add some friends there. So the first thing I'm going to do is there's a link to this in the description. So this is a lens. It's called Custom Location Creator Lens. And I'm going to use it to create my custom location that I will then use in Lens Studio. So I'm going to click Create New and then Create Mesh. And this is where I just move my camera around the area, get the TV. This is anything that I would want to be included in the mesh. So if my dog is right there, I don't want to include the dog. Just going to get these chairs, and as you can see at the bottom, that bar is almost at the maximum size. So I'm going to hit done. So that was the mesh. That's the 3D information of the space. And now I'm going to capture perspectives. So this is different from the mesh. It is where I'm going to be standing when I want the location AR experience to get triggered. So I'm going to be kind of, I'm walking up here. All right, I'd be looking at these chairs. So if I'm standing here from this perspective, this is where the AR experience I would want it to trigger. So I'm going to just kind of look all around. All right, and then at the bottom you'll see there's a capacity there as well. So I'm going to hit done, and now I'm going to test it. So the final step in the lens is testing it, and then in the middle at the bottom here I like to click features, and you can kind of see. So like if I go here, I've got no perspectives pointing at the ground, so it's not going to recognize anything. But when I point my perspective at what I saved, I'm going to get all this data. So this is looking good. And then if I'm standing here, the experience would trigger. So I'm going to hit done. And I'm going to name this 3 blue chairs. And hit done. And it's going to give me this location ID. And I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Hit done. And now I'm done in Snapchat. So I can close that and then go to the photos. And then click here. And I'm going to copy that text, or I can just write it down. But now I can paste that into my computer. All right, so now we're at the computer. I've got Lens Studio 5.1 open, and we're going to create a new project. I'm going to create a spectacles project, which will give me a new project that has the spectacles interaction kit already there. I'm not going to use that here, so I'm going to just disable it. And then I'm going to sort of set this up. So what I would normally do with just a lens is I would go to the asset library and add this custom. Where is this custom location? This custom location AR asset, which is pretty cool. Kind of looks like the Spectacles Interaction Kit. It imports a whole hierarchy of objects that make creating a location lens really pleasant. But that doesn't work with spectacles, so we're going to kind of do something a little bit more bare bones from scratch, and it'll work in the spectacles. So in the top left here, I'm going to add a new object, and I'm going to search for location. So I'm going to add custom location. It's going to create this hierarchy here. We got a location component here, this flip camera script we're not going to worry about, and then this custom location mesh. So this kind of is the magical object here that generate this location mesh is the mesh we just scanned. And the way we get that is through this location asset. So this custom location component references this asset. I'm going to right click select. So down here, custom location asset. So I'm going to just rename that file to, my blue chairs. So location asset. And then I've got my Mac and phone synced, so I should be able to just hit Command V and have the, nope, it's not pasting. All right. All right, now I should be able to just paste that in. Yeah, it's pasting from phone, and cool. So now this mesh that I just created, you can see the 3 chairs there, and then the TV there. So what I want to do is, I'll sit in the middle, and I want, a friend on the left and the right. And here's how I'm going to do that. So we'll just go to the asset library, pick our favorite red panda, and the dreamy fox. So we'll just import these 2 objects, and these could be anything you'd want to have at that custom location. You can put there. So we've got the red panda. So I'm going to throw this underneath the location render mesh. So this guy's there. Maybe make him a little bit bigger. And bring him down. So he's kind of sitting in that chair, kind of chilling next to me. So there. Just throwing him there. And then you want to make sure that that's underneath this location mesh so that it's all relative to the location. And then we'll add Dreamy Fox, just the same way we did that. Make him a little bit bigger as well. Bring him into the other chair. And just have him sitting there. Cool. So now he's in that chair. The guy's in there, and I'd be sitting in the middle. And then what we want to do is, instead of this gray mesh here, we want this to be an occluder mesh. So we're gonna go back up here to our location mesh, custom location. You don't want to change that, but we can change the material, and we'll just change it to occluder. So now you won't really be able to see the location, but you can kind of see like that's the chair is kind of covering him, and it should look real good in the lens. Now, if I load this into a lens, this mesh is just gonna, these guys are gonna show up. They're just gonna show up no matter where you open the lens, and we don't want that. We want them to only show up at this location. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna on start hide mesh. Just say hide location mesh. And then we'll do this with the behavior component. So on start, set enabled to disable, and we're gonna reference this custom location. So when the lens starts, hide that object, and then all the children will be hidden as well. And then what I want to do is I want to, on location found, show mesh. Show location mesh. We'll do that again with the behavior component, our behavior script. So here, instead of on start, we've got this wonderful location event, on location found. And well, what do we put there for the location thing? Nothing's showing up. So we've got our custom component, we've got our location asset. What it's looking for is actually a component that we haven't added yet. So go to the camera. It should already have the device tracking component, and we're going to add a device location tracking component. This accepts a location asset from the asset browser. So now down here, we're going to drag that over. So now that's set up. And then in our behavior script, we can now reference that camera with the device location tracking. So now when the location is found, we will enable our location mesh. Cool. So this lens is set up to work. So I'm just going to save the project. Desktop, we'll say Blue Chair Hangout. Now, if I put these on my spectacles, this will work. Unfortunately, the record feature on the spectacles doesn't show the won't show this. So I'm gonna kind of, for this, cheat a little bit and so I'm gonna go to project settings. I'm gonna Blue Chair Hang, and instead of spectacles, I'm gonna make it mobile. So I'm gonna push it to Snapchat, and then I'll show you how it looks in Snapchat. Send to Snapchat. So now this lens will go to Snapchat. Boom. So now when I go over here, we'll see my homies, and then it should be occluding pretty well. Looks pretty good. Yeah. So that was the lens working in Snapchat, which isn't that groundbreaking. What we want is them to work on the spectacles. So that's pretty straightforward. I'm going to go to project settings. I guess it went back to spectacles. And I would connect wirelessly. It's already connected up here in the top right. And then send to connected spectacles. And then that lens will get sent here. And when I walk over, I'll walk over here now and just kind of give you my reaction. I'm over here looking at my blue chairs, and the guys are showing up. You can't see them. And if I hit record on the specs, the recording doesn't show the content for the location mesh for some reason. I'm guessing it's a privacy thing. Yeah, that's how you get custom location AR on the spectacles.